As we grow older, the clock begins to tick. The carefree days of childhood gradually give into adulthood's complexities. Responsibilities pile up, expectations endlessly increasing. Suddenly, reality kicks in, and we find ourselves at a crossroad, now faced with the decision that will shape the course of our lives, and we don't feel ready at all to make that decision. For me, this transition has been especially challenging since I'm no longer guided by the familiar structures of the education system, but instead faced with the task to direct my own life forward. That's a new kind of pressure I'm not used to. I've never really had the requirement to think about what it is I want from this life, what it is I want to achieve, and who do I want to share it with. That's big questions to face if you're only used to following a pre-decided assignment. It's not unnatural wanting to escape having to face these things. And when I say I have distracted myself with meaningless scrolling, I know I'm not the only one. Blindly following the advice of others, simply to avoid having to reflect on my own desires. It do make perfect sense, since we're designed to seek the familiar, and when things are changing, a lot of uncertainty follows. Life will always be difficult to navigate regardless of which state you're in. But we do all share this common feeling. Whether you are a recent graduate, becoming a parent, or in the middle of a move or a job change, even if uncertainty brings you a lot of worry and negativity, there's something beautiful waiting for you to discover it. There's comfort to be found in this universal aspect of uncertainty. Throughout time, a collection of life lessons have formed, timeless wisdom that has the power to guide me and you through life's most challenging moments. And that's what I will share with you today. So here is 17 lessons I wish I have known. Actually, I have made it even easier for you to have all of these essential lessons by hand anytime. I've teamed up with a guy named Henry who have made an ebook with all of these lessons I'm gonna talk about today and more. I'm gonna leave a link down below. It's less than a monthly subscription to Netflix. This you will only have forever, and instead of consuming your time like Netflix would, this will positively impact the rest of your life and not run out by the end of the month. Establishing a foundation is the most critical part about anything in life. Without a solid foundation, everything we build from now on will crumble eventually. So it's only natural for us to start here. The first lesson: have the ability to take yourself seriously, or else no one will. You're the creator of your own identity. All you need is a vision and patience. Then, some time from now, if you take the right actions, you will become whatever you have envisioned. So don't make fun of yourself. Believe it or not, your brain aren't that smart and don't know the difference between when you're serious and when you're not. Second, keep it simple. We have the tendency to make things more complicated than necessary, mostly to justify avoiding them. It's a hard pill to swallow, but life is actually laughable simple. If you feel overwhelmed, meditate. If you're feeling off, turn your body on. If you're struggling to find meaning, simply set aside 10 minutes a day to journal or more, and you will for sure come up with something. If you don't, which I doubt, then you could set the goal to become the person you would want your kids to marry. Life is simple, but I have never stated that it was easy. You might have goals for the future, but if you don't plan your days, nothing important will get done. I suggest trying a monk mode or another period of extreme focus without any distractions. Fourth, learn. Your brain is the most valuable tool you have, and nobody can take that away from you. So learn to work with your brain and not against it. Fifth, exercise. Learning to take care of yourself is the gateway to gain confidence, and as a bonus, you will have more mental clarity to reach even further limits. Even when you get older, never stop challenging your body. The worst thing you can do is to wrap yourself in bubble wrap and be afraid of everything. You will be declining much faster. Number 6, learn to speak. I want you to work on your speaking abilities. Improving your brain doesn't matter much if you don't know how to articulate your thoughts. Plus, it's the gateway to this next part. If you don't know how to articulate your needs and thoughts, then your relationships are gonna suffer. Relationship has always been one of the most important parts of being human, and recent science is proving just that. It's the single most important factor in your health and well-being. It has been proven that great relationships can be life extending. So the following list of lessons are gonna be about how to build great relationships, which is gonna be especially important when you're going through times of uncertainty. They will be there to support you and help you get through it. First off, the number one thing I want you to keep in mind is that you need to prioritize your relationships. They are the most important part of being alive and shouldn't be neglected for extended periods of time. Second, don't make false promises. Protect your word at all costs. It is your integrity, and if you lose that, people and yourself will lose faith in you. The next one might be obvious, but be a good person. Treat others the way you want them to treat you, regardless of what you get in return. You have to put up with some bad parts, there's no way around it. But you can choose your attitude. You can choose to be positive about it, or you can choose to be negative, which will only hurt you in the end. Trust me. Fourth one, be careful about your relationships. By that I mean people around you's behaviors affect yours. So choose wisely who you surround yourself with and learn not to be dependent on anyone. Not that you don't need others in your life, but you should never expect anyone to solve your problems for you. Learn to cope with them yourself and use others as support. Fifth one, confront. You need to learn to confront your problems head on and never let resentment build up. That destroys you and your relationships. It might feel terrible to be completely honest in the moment, but it's gonna make it so much easier for people to process it, and they will actually respect you more for it. Plus, it's gonna help you better cope with the uncertainty by not letting it grow bigger and bigger. The best solution to a problem is never to avoid it, but to face it instead. And the last one, don't play the lone wolf. In synergy, you can come so much further than you could ever have done alone. You only have 24 hours a day, but two people have 48 hours. Just imagine how far you could come if you try to work with others instead of competing with everyone. Like I mentioned, we are all dealing with our own struggles and uncertainty. The following lessons is especially important since they will help you grow and get past it. I'm talking about your mindset. You firstly have to change your thoughts before you can change anything else in your life. Our mindset is the lens which we perceive the world around us, shaping our perspective and our actions. Firstly, I need you to understand that big changes happens when we leave home. That can both be metaphorically or physically leaving home. As I have emphasized in previous videos, embracing leaving your comfort zone is essential for personal growth. Some of life's most transformative experiences comes from venturing beyond the familiar. If you ever find yourself on someone else's path, that's a sign you need to pivot back on your own. Second, live life and collect memories. Wisdom has never come with age, but with life lived. You've probably met an old grumpy grandpa before, and if you don't want to end up in the same position, you need to let go of your fears and open your mind to the world, and incredible things will come your way. This next one especially applies to myself. It's never gonna be perfect, so just do it. There's nothing such as perfect timing. If you keep on waiting for something in the future, you will miss the opportunities that is right in front of you. A quote I repeat to myself is, "You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great." Fourth one, you can handle a lot more than you think. According to David Goggins, we are only operating at 40% of our capacity, meaning there's so much more potential to be unlocked. If you just push a little further, gradually over time, you will move the standard of what you think is possible. And the last one, it's not all about money. Cliche, I know. But remind yourself there's other factors that plays into the quality of your life and success. That's why there's a lot of poor people feeling way more fulfilled than some of the most wealthy people. There's more to life than just money. And since you're still watching, you must have related a lot to struggling with uncertainty. And if I'm not mistaken, you're finding yourself in a low point. Trust me, I resonate. I know just how difficult it can be to get yourself out of a rut. That's exactly why this video is extremely important for you to watch next. It gives you the formula which I use to get from a low point into embracing life again.